Hi friends. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to write an equation with a variable on both sides. So before we get into our steps, we got some vocab. So we know we have terms. That's a number or a variable. So like 5x or -3, that's a specific term. We have an equation. That's when two expressions have an equal value represented by an equal sign. Something like 5x plus 3 equals 7. Or closer in this case, 5x plus 3 equals 7x minus 2. Okay, two expressions are equivalent. A variable, that's our symbol, usually a letter, for a number that is unknown, x, y, z, h, I, j, k, l, n, o, p. Our coefficient, that's our number in front of the variable. It also tells us how many times we're multiplying that variable. Okay, but so 2x, 3h, -5, m, whatever. And then your constant is the number on its own. So like -7 plus 5, okay? So now that we have some of that knowledge in our head, our steps for writing an equation with the variable on both sides, they seem a little wordy, but when it comes down to it, it's not too bad. First, read and annotate the word problem. Great way to break it down. Figure out what the question is asking, okay? Because that's going to help us. Then separate the two situations with an equal sign, all right? Then for the first situation, identify what is happening over and over, okay? That's our variable or coefficient. I say over and over. It's not always over and over, but it's helpful. So sometimes it's like per hour, every day, each month, each game. Just something that's telling you it's happening more than one time, okay? Then identify what's happening one time for the first situation still, okay? Then I do the same thing, but for the second situation. So I'm put it on the other side, put the whole equation together. Make sure it makes sense, all right? So I have this first one. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day to rent a car. Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $36 plus an additional $28 per day. For what number of days is the total cost charged by the companies the same? Equivalent. Okay, so I've read it. Now I'm going to go back and annotate. And I'm going to separate the situations with colors. So Andy's rental car, I'm going to use in blue. They charge an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day to rent the car. Okay, so that's Andy's rental. Now I'm going to focus on Buddy's. So Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee, so it's nice, they're using the same kind of wording. Why is it not writing? There we go. Of $36 plus an additional $28 per day. Okay, so I've got Andy's rental, I've got Buddy's. Now it gives me the question, so I'm going to make sure I'm putting it in like a different color. For what number of days is the total cost charged by the companies the same? Same in math is equal. All right, and remember I said you're going to separate them. So going back to the steps. Separate the two situations with an equal sign, okay? I am writing an equal sign. So then I have both situations with an equal sign, okay? So now I'm just going to change my colors for Andy's rental. I'm making a video. Okay, so Andy's rental is over here. All right, there it goes. And Buddy's rental. Come on. Sometimes it won't let me write. I'm sorry. So Buddy's is on that side. So, right, I've separated the two situations. Now, for the first situation, so focusing on Andy, I'm going to figure out the coefficient, the over and over. So he had an initial fee of $20. Well, an initial fee, that sounds like I pay you it, and it doesn't sound like it's happening again. Plus an additional $30 per day. Oh, $30 for one day, then another day, then another day. So that 30 is my coefficient. It's my over and over. Okay, so I've got 30, and I'm going to use D for day as my variable. Then my next part was to identify the constant, the thing that happens one time. That would be the $20 fee. Okay, so I have one side of my expression, 30D plus 20. Now I get to move over to buddies. And it's going to be like they worded them almost the exact same. So I'm going to follow kind of the same procedure. Buddies is for their over and over, the initial fee. No, that's one time. 28 per day. And then their 36 was the initial fee. All right, so I wrote the equation, but I want to just go back and make sure it makes sense. So $30 per day plus the 20 fee. I'm adding those together because they're both part of the fee. They're not subtracting from each other by any means. So I'm looking at it, it makes sense to me. That's the ending equation. And then I can solve it by boxing and circling, finding the smallest coefficient and isolating my variable. But this is the main purpose of what we're trying to do. All right, so message me if you guys have any questions. See you later.